My name's Karen. Guess what? I saw people out there, they were socializing. I saw some guy walking his dog past 9 p.m. What the fuck? I'm calling the cops. Hi, my name's Karen.
Hello, my name is Kevin. Meet my honey wife Karen. She'll be the one on the Facebook just sharing every time you come out of your house without a mask. Hey, she's a motherfucker. She don't go down south on my dick cause I'm gay. Hey, my name is Kevin. And Karen's my fucking homemade. All on the Twitter on the universe. Yeah, I take from her purse. She don't give me money cause she's Karen. And I'm from Kevin. We ain't sharing. We ain't sharing our civil liberties. We're just hanging around, being commies just every day. Just trying to fuck with Turtle Boy every day. Just trying to fuck with Laura Joy every day. Get the fuck out my Peter's dick before I hit you in the mouth, bitch.
Hi, my name's Karen. I don't care about the First Amendment because I'm trying to keep people safe. Let's talk about the community. How are you going to keep people safe?
All right. What's up, Turtle Riders out there? How are y'all doing tonight? Let's see. Let's bring you up there. All right. How's the crowd looking here tonight? Let's see. Oh, good. Okay. People are streaming in here. All right, guys. So welcome to the show, guys. The Turtle Boy Live Show, also known as the Redemption of Quarantine Cullinane Show. Dave is back with us. How you doing, Dave?
Round two. Pleasure to be here. How long have you had that new theme music on, by the way? Because I liked your original one. I like the turtle one.
Yeah, I mean, this is like it's like a week and a half. So
Okay.
a Turtle Rider made that and sent it to me on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, I'm using this all the time.
So will that just last through the virus, and then you'll go back to the turtle, or is it?
Yeah, that'll get old. We'll move on from the Karen thing, but yeah. All right, guys. So welcome. I've gone ahead and I've shared this to the Clarence Woods Emerson page, as well as the Aiden Carney Uncle Turtle Boy page. And maybe with my real name, you can go ahead and like that. So share those up. Let people know we're out here. We're live. On top of that, the fundraiser link, if you guys feel like donating, we appreciate any and all donations. We won in court again this week, which is fantastic. If you donate, I'm going to read your name on, if you donate, you can, pretty much write whatever you want. I'll read anything. Doesn't matter. In your memo, that'd be great. I'll do it on the air, etc. And yeah, that's it. So, Blippy Marie has also shared in the comments the link to, if you want to call in. However, we're going to make it, if you call in, we're going to do it Felger style. You listen to Felger, Maz, right?
I did. So we're just going to say your piece and get dumped. Is that
exactly? I mean, that guy runs his show masterfully as far as like cutting through the bullshit. He knows immediately when a caller's got little to say, like it's just like get in, get out, no formalities. Don't ask me how I'm doing, nothing like that. Just say what you got to say and peace out. Yep. So if you do feel like joining, you can click that link, etc. So, welcome, guys. So here, first thing I want to talk about on the agenda tonight is this story out of Oxford, and hopefully, so I did not know this yesterday until after I wrote the blog. Let me pull up the blog first. So there was I did the story on the guy from New Jersey that had a gym down there, and we were talking about this on the Jerry show yesterday. Yep. And we were talking about who's going to be the first to open up. etc. And we had a guy on who owned the gym. Did he ever end up opening his gym? I didn't hear about it.
I don't know. Do you want me to text him? I'll text him. By the way, those are Jerry guys. You were shitting on me for booking
those are Jerry guys.
Yeah, those are Jerry's friends.
Oh, I apologize. Okay.
And then today's Boar Fest, where we put the call out to people in the comment section. Hey, if you own a business, call in. Those were just basically listeners of the show. Those weren't like people that we booked. Tomorrow, by the way, and we're late on it, obviously, but we have the dude who went off in the North End. The guy.
That guy's gonna be a good guest.
Yeah, he seems pretty good. So
that guy's cool. But who's on? Is Reamer on tomorrow?
Reamer is on tomorrow. So yeah, so that'll be fun.
I got a call. I gotta see what he's doing. He's my friend.
You do what you want to do. You do what you want to do.
Okay. I gotta brighten this day. All right. So you saw this story in Philadelphia, right? Or just right outside in South Jersey. Basically, these guys own a gym down there. They opened up. And the cops came and they're like, they said, you're violating the governor's orders. With that said, have a nice day. And the crowd roared. And it looked good. Great. And we wrote a blog about it and it felt good. You see what happened 2 hours later?
Yes, I did see what happened. We talked about that this morning. Yeah.
They fucking showed up.
Yep.
And they
got their orders, right?
Yeah.
They got their orders.
There was a guy taken out of there in handcuffs today too.
Yep.
A guy who was just working out. So much for that. I feel like that was just, I think that was that particular lieutenant's way of saying, I personally don't give a fuck. I just want to be on the record. They might do something later on, but I don't give a fuck. You know? I mean, what else?
So what is their process the same as what I assume is the process here? And we're going to probably learn more, right? Is that guy going to call from Oxford? I'm going
to call him if he doesn't.
Okay. Well, hopefully he calls in. So he opens up, I believe yesterday, right? He opens up yesterday.
Yeah. His name's Dave Blondin. He owns a Prime Fitness. Now, I did not know this until after I wrote the blog. I'll show you this video.
Okay. So regardless of what is announced tomorrow, Prime is going to begin opening their doors tomorrow, starting at 7 a.m. This will be for members and clients only, so no day passes, no signups, no nothing. I also would like to call upon all the gyms in Massachusetts to do the same.
So he's like, all the gyms, do the same, and I thought they would. So basically, I did not know this until after I wrote the blog, Dave. That he was one of my students in class, my first year at Shepherd Hill. I had no clue. I'm like, when I had him in class as a junior, this was 2006, mind you, he didn't. Like, you would never guess this kid would be a gym guy. He didn't
would own anything.
No, didn't do sports, nothing.
Yeah.
He was just quiet Dave. He didn't speak much. Nice kid, just didn't say a peep. And I
can't even remember. I saw the video. I can't remember. Is he all jacked up now?
Yes.
What do you look like?
He's like a legit bodybuilder, like one of those guys that gets greased up.
Yeah.
And spray tans and stands. You know what I mean? What are those bodybuilders? Is that what we call them?
Yeah, like Schwarzenegger type shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
So he's one of those. And but I talked to him this morning about it, and I invited him on. And since then, that story, my God, has freaking blown up. Now, by the way, nobody joined his revolution. It's just
backtrack for 1 second, because I saw him from your blog. Did you see that video, or somebody send you his video? You blog about it, and then the media picked up, because I saw it on Channel 5 this tonight. So he blew up this afternoon. Is this another?
The media
All right, I didn't know if you had it first or not.
Right, of course I did, because people were sending me the link yesterday during your show with Jerry. That's how we're sending it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta see this, right? So he opens up his gym yesterday morning and today, and like, here's some pictures of people that are there, and she's like, there's like nobody there, right? Like, it's just this chick, another dude. They're like showing how they spray down the machines, they do all this shit. There's nothing like, oh my God, coronavirus, we're all gonna die. Like, there's fucking like 2 people in there. Like, obviously it's not out of control. So what happens? The town of Oxford should be fucking ashamed of themselves, what they've done. These tyrants. Absolutely. Shame on you, Oxford. I've shit on this town many times, and just clearly not enough, because this is fucking shameful what they've done here. So the town of Oxford comes on here, and they're like, in Monday, the town was notified via various individuals that Prime Fitness had made several social media posts saying that they were going to do business, blah, blah, blah. And we began to have conversations with the Board of Health and all the stuff, yada, yada, yada. Today, Mr. Bristol visited Prime Fitness, accompanied by the Oxford Police Department. Man, these fucking thugs showing up. Hey, you can't show up by yourself, Mr. Health Department guy, Mr. Big Tough guy. You got to show up with the cops to see the owner, Dave Blondin. Blondin made clear that he had no intention of complying with the governor's. God bless him. God bless Dave for doing that. Or wait until phase 3 to resume operations. He stated that basically whatever. So I wanted to get Dave on tonight, but apparently he's a freaking celebrity now, because
he is a celebrity. Yep.
Everybody has written about. I broke the story once again. This is another Turtle Boy broke the story thing. First one to write about it. And now, oh wait, am I not share? Oh crap! I don't have the screen share. I got to share the screen. Thank you, Suzanne. Hold on. I got to get used to this. Okay, share screen.
You had it up before. You were sharing.
I know. I'm going to get it. All right. Let's see. How's that? There it is. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. All right. That's better. So that worked, guys?
Yeah, so he opens up on Monday, which I assume this is what I think is playing out. This is why I want to ask him. I believe they show up and they just give you a verbal warning on day one, right? That's what I believe happens on Monday. Then I think they give you a written warning on day two, and then I think you actually, he's going to get, obviously the fines are going to start coming in, I think, on day three. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I think so, something like that. However it works, I'd like to have him on, but he's a freaking celebrity now. He can't talk to his old history teacher apparently, because he's like, I called him like right before the show, and he's like, oh, I thought I texted you back. I got to do an interview at WBZ. It's like, no, you never texted me back, but you never did your homework either. So here we are. But no, he's a nice kid. So I'm going to call him in a little bit anyway, regardless. I mean, WBZ, Dave, give me a break.
AM radio. Are you kidding me?
Who the fuck listens to WBZ?
Actually, a lot of people.
You said he was on some show called the Dan Rhea Show. I never heard of this guy.
Dan Ray's been on the air for, Jesus Christ, 25 years, maybe.
He's got 10,000 Facebook followers. That's it.
I know he's a nobody. Hey, listen, he's a nobody on Facebook, and just listen. We're a startup on Facebook, the show I do, so we have no fans on Facebook. But he's been around for a long time. Conservative voice on BZ, calm, cool, collected, right? So he'll get the mayor, he'll get the governor. He doesn't get too crazy or anything like that. So yeah, I guess Blondin has decided that Dan Ray carries a little more weight than
apparently. I mean, I'll show you. I mean, look at this guy. I got to bring him up. He's like a bootleg Howie Carr. That's what he looks like.
Oh, Dan Ray?
Yeah. What is this?
Shit. I mean, Dan Ray he's a legend. You can't shit. He's a legend.
He's a fake Howie Carr. Look at this guy.
And he was on TV for years too. Yeah.
Never fucking heard of him. Never heard of him. Nobody my age knows who Dan. I guess you do.
Yeah, BZAM, and
look at this production. Look at this production value. Look at this video.
Margarita. So
who's this?
Call me Marita here for Nightside pregame, and this is the pregame show where we talk to you about what's coming up on the program tonight.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
WBZ News Radio's Nightside with Dan Ray. All right, we're gonna get down to business. We gotta get down to business.
All right. Anyway, so that's turn it off. Yeah, I'm going to go put this back on. All right, so back to the town of Oxford. Here's my question for you, Dave. Are gyms essential?
I'd say gyms are essential. I think there are people that are absolutely losing their mind. Me in not a mental health way, but there are actual people with mental health issues where fitness is very important to them. That I would say that gym should be essential at this moment, especially a gym like that, which seems to be doing everything it can to comply. I did read one article about him specifically, and it said that it didn't confirm that he wasn't making social distancing efforts and wasn't forcing people to wear masks, whatever, which I know your take on the mask and everything. I'm sure he basically said, hey, if you can stay as far away from each other as you can, just try to do that to appease people. You know what I mean? He's a business owner. He's not trying to cause shit. So I'm sure he's taking every measure he can possibly take.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's fucking essential. I'm sorry. Gyms are essential. Enough with this bull. First of all, who the hell ever gave anybody the power to decide what is and isn't essential? The gym is essential to the people who own it and the people who work there. It's fucking essential, obviously.
Well, I mean, the virus kills people who are unhealthy.
Yes.
And here's a place where people get to go get healthy.
Thank you. It's not that hard. So, this whole thing, and I'm like, I think it's essential also for the people who go there mentally and physically. So first of all, like you said, the fatties need to get down there, right? The morbidly obese like Trump and Stacey Abrams, they need to hit the gym, period. So obviously they're
not even as a joke. Like this should be a lesson right now in we need to get healthy. We need to get fit, or, we don't have to be like fucking the Blondin guy and look like Schwarzenegger, but we need, when shit like this happens, when a virus comes, you want to be healthy. That's what we should be proactively promoting right now. We should be telling people to go to the gym because of this shit.
Yeah, exactly. And also mentally, like, I'm not going to lie. I've reached my fucking 6 more weeks. Are you kidding me? So people are like, why don't you just go out and run? It's like, well, I got to beat I'd love to run. I'm a runner. I used to run 60 miles a week. I can't fucking do it anymore. My body's broken. My Achilles is torn to shit. And there's no surgery you can get for it. There's no cortisone shots you can get for it. Believe me, you can't go to physical therapy because that's not essential either. But even if I could, it doesn't fix shit. So I'm like, the only thing I can do is go to the fucking gym and waste 45 minutes on the elliptical. But you know what? I do it because I don't want to be a fat ass, period. And I don't know. I gained 10 pounds so far, Dave. You gain any weight from this?
I haven't weighed myself. I look like I've gained some weight. I must, because I'm probably worse than you, right? I literally have not left the house. I've done a couple. Yeah, I go nowhere. So
I mean, it's like, I eat worse since this is all going on. I don't know about you. Like, you just eat for no fucking reason now. I don't know.
Yep.
It's like, this whole thing is unhealthy. Gyms are fucking essential, or else why the fuck would they exist if they weren't?
I just don't like why is a hair salon essential, or why does a hair salon get to go first? You know what I mean? And then why is the gym owner in phase 3 dependent on the people in phase 1 and 2? Like if those businesses that get to go in phase 1 and 2 fuck up, then this guy in phase 3, he's going to get delayed longer and longer, which by the way is already looking like, what if gyms are phase 3? What is that? Mid-July, for Christ's sake? You know what I mean? Like he said, it's a minimum of 3 weeks between phases, right?
Yes, exactly. And like you said, what if they fuck up? I mean, so my ability to open up is dependent on your ability to get your shit together and follow the rules. Like,
which I think, by the way, most people will, right? I mean, I think it's nitpicking for us to say like, all the hair salon, the people who own hair salons are going to fuck up and it's going to delay my business. That's not going to happen. It's not. It's more about other people in charge. Is Baker, who we keep talking about, loves this power and loves this authority. Is he going to keep kicking the can down the road? Probably. Yes.
So, basically, I need the gym because I need to fucking stress release. Like, that's fucking important. And this idea from all these lardos out there, that's all I'm hearing. People, oh, the gym's not essential. Like, click on your photo, you're a fat piece of shit every single time, right? The gym's obviously not. It should be essential for you, but clearly it's not. You haven't made it a priority at all, which is fine. America, you have your choices, okay? But just because you're fat and disgusting doesn't mean we all have to be too, you fucking selfish pig. Gotta hate these people. So
I just think at the end of the day, these businesses have the right to open up and try to make a living. And if they run that business, they can tell their customers how to abide by certain rules. Like if you go in there and you're fucking around, you should get kicked out. You know what I mean? Like, and you're not going to go fuck around because you're driving yourself insane in your house and you just want to go use elliptical. So you're going to play by whatever rules are told to you by that business owner.
I've said it. I mean, I'm an anti-mask guy, but like, if I have to wear a mask for the gym to open, I'll wear the goddamn mask. Whatever it takes.
You can't wear a mask and
they tell you have to, but everybody knows you're not going to. Like, whatever. You just be like, okay, sure, yeah. You just be like, yeah, I agree with that. They're also requiring, by the way, for beaches this summer, you have to wear a goddamn mask in the water. That's the other thing.
Which is absurd.
I mean,
what do you do? You take it off and on as you go up and off the water. I don't even get it. You have to hold it up as you're going under the water.
Isn't that what waterboarding is? That's like what we did to terrorists. They put a rag over their mouth and you drip water on them. That's fucking torture. It's outlawed by the Geneva Conventions. Jesus Christ.
Just ridiculous.
Anyway, so this whole thing doesn't make any sense. And I'll tell you one thing. All these pussies, these gym owners, they fucking deserve it because not a single one of these pussies joined in with Dave Blondin. He actually put a call. I challenge everyone to do it. He probably thought he'd have his I am Spartacus moment. A lot of people would join his. Guess what, Dave? Nobody fucking joined you.
I feel like that's a little overstated too, because these guys aren't like, they're not in some group together, right? Like they don't have a what the hell is it? Like a
it made the news. It made the news.
They don't all have like a BNI group together of gym owners where they all like do a
power.
I don't know. I just have to imagine that guy. Like yesterday, that guy who we basically convinced to open, right? Like you basically convinced him.
Yeah, maybe I'll open. Yeah, maybe I'll.
I should text him to see if he actually did.
Yeah, text him and ask him if he got on because I didn't see anything about him on the news.
But I would have felt like he at least was like, he was not fired up, but like you could tell like he needed more people to help him get across the finish line, which I think a lot of people were. I told the story yesterday about you blogged about it. Kara Cullen, Wachusett Country Club. She wrote a note to us after you guys talked about it so much. She didn't want to come on the show after it hit Fox News and all that shit because she was just scared shitless. She was the only. She was the only one out there doing it. That's being scared of retribution. Like if there was other golf courses at that time that were coming out, she would have been an absolute hero. She would have been everywhere. She would have relished in it, just like the woman in Texas with the salon. But she was alone What the hell do you
Yeah.
expect?
I
You
mean,
know?
cowards, bunch of cowards. These people deserve to lose their businesses. And I'm sick of hearing about how, oh, the cops are just doing their jobs. Now the cops are being cowards too. Let's face it. I know a lot of cops who have told me I will not participate in this. You don't have to, Mr. Police Officer, participate in this. Nobody's forcing you to. You can tell your boss to fuck off. They do it all the time, right? Like whenever de Blasio comes out, the New York City police literally turn their fucking backs on him. They've told him we're not enforcing social distancing guidelines. You can do that, believe it or not. You're fucking cops. You have the guns and shit. Nobody's gonna force you. So shame on the Oxford police for being bitch boys and going down there and trying to fucking intimidate a goddamn gym owner with the Board of Health pussy. God, bunch of
But
cowards.
I'd like to hear from him to see how that interaction went down.
Can I call him
what I
right
mean?
now?
Yes, call him.
Or should okay, we're calling.
Call him. It'll allow me time to go look at the comments and see people
Okay,
shitting on me.
yes. Yeah, you're not getting shit on so far.
Huh? Nice.
I'm gonna try him right now. See what he says. I bet he's on the other line. He'll call back. He said he'd call back, but we'll see.
Dan Ray goes deep. Every time I've heard him, he goes deep with guests.
How long does the show last?
He's on. I think he's on 9 to midnight or something like that.
You sure it's him? Oh yeah, he said on there he's talking to him tonight. Let's see. Actually, let me bring up his show right now.
Open the strip clubs. Great comment.
The strip clubs are going to be the last because of all the lap dances. But I really feel for the strippers because they don't have skills that translate to any other field, right? Think about the strippers, the poor strippers.
Poor strippers, man.
And, the horny guys that want to get down there and get a lap dance, they can't do it anymore, man. I thought this was America. I thought you could grab a big fat ass if you wanted to. No?
I thought so, yeah.
There's nothing more American than that. We're in communist Sweden. Let's see.
Does he say that he's taking calls? We should call in and say why. We should call him out and say, why would you choose Dan Ray over Turtle Boy? And we should do that on WBZ right now.
I'll call him up right now. Okay. I'm going to call him up. Why are you stealing my guests? Okay. I'm calling up right now. 617-2. And if you guys here, Turtle Riders, go on Dave. I think Dave's Facebook page is open. Dave Blonded's Facebook page is open.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah. Go on his Facebook page and on the top post or whatever. Just be like, come on the live show. Who cares about WBZ? They're fake news. They're going to give you a bad deal anyway. Talk to the only media outlet in town that actually will tell the truth. Okay, we're calling them right now. See what happens.
Oh, WBZ side.
Yeah, I'd like to get on with Dan Ree. Right, please, sorry.
Yeah, what is your name?
My name's Aiden.
I'm sorry?
Aiden.
Where
Hello?
are you calling from?
Worcester.
Hey, Mr. Everything, speakerphones are off.
Yeah.
I don't know if those numbers are accurate. You don't know you don't have any facts as to whether these numbers are accurate. Dr. Burks, who was Fauci's assistant, the female doctor.
Oh, do you hear this, Dave?
Trump on those press conferences said, we have lumped together all these.
What are they
sicknesses
talking
that
about?
We suspect this corona, we have lumped it in as a corona death. And she said it 2 weeks ago.
What should I say
And I heard
when I
her
get
say
on?
that, and I
I don't
commend
know.
her for saying
It's kind of an
that.
impulse thing to tell you to do it. Wait,
Only numbers that I can
why would they talk? This
numbers
isn't him.
that are released.
It's not him at all. They're talking about
Only
Dr.
give me your
Burks.
estimate and tell me that
What
of
the?
the-
Where do you even watch? Who watches
Ask
this?
him why
No.
gyms. Ask him why gyms can't be open.
So you're going to tell me that what?
But I just want to. Have you seen my friend Dave? I'm just all going to ask him.
If you see my friend, he was supposed to call in.
Yeah. Have you talked to Dave Blondin? I'm looking for Dave.
Nobody knows except the people, maybe some of the people. Who
Okay, so when he comes back, I'll go on the air with him. I mean, where is this broadcast? How do people listen to this show, Dan Ray?
AM 10:30.
You have to turn on AM radio to hear this. Who
I'm
the
sure you
fuck
can stream it on the internet as well. I'm sure. Yeah.
How many people do you think are listening to his show right now?
WBC did well, right? You like to shit on WEEI. The talk stations did really well this last. Well, obviously there's no sports, right? So I think I don't know if it was the #1 station or not.
All right, okay. So we'll come back to him. If he comes on, he comes on. The other topic I want to talk about with you, well, I got you on here, is the whole thing with Barstool Sports and the Caller Daddy drama. So for those of you unfamiliar with this, the call.
You can hang up. I mean, what the fuck are we gonna? What are you gonna say to him?
Exactly. Yeah. It's not worth waiting on hold to make a practical joke. All right. So let me bring this up. Where'd it go? There we are. All right. So Caller Daddy is how would you describe this show, Dave?
Caller Daddy is a podcast. It's a beast. It's two chicks talking about their basically sexual experiences right out in the open. Yeah.
Like, I'll give you a they sound like fucking
and then
morons,
when you go into that bedroom, girls, and you're going to fuck, you're easing into this motherfucker and his wiener. Okay? Just hide your sluttiness.
Yes.
What about
Be a slut.
let's
Just
give a
don't let him
couple-
know.
You know, if you're really trying to play the fucking wholesome bitch card, you show up to his goddamn apartment, and what is the background on your phone? You change that fucking thing to a background picture of your goddamn family. I don't care if it's your goddamn rescue dog or a goddamn symbol of the nonprofit you don't work for, but you're gonna pretend to work for tonight.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, what's that?
Oh,
symbol?
yeah.
You're like, I work for a
UNICEF.
nonprofit.
You're like UNICEF. I mean,
So there's just porn.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite episode was if you're a 5 or a 6, die for that dick.
That's the name of the show.
These are fucking great titles. Fine dining and eating out special.
Okay. Let me just say
the post nut cleanup, the gluck gluck. Love it.
So I would assume their audience is it mostly male?
No, it's chicks.
So what do they find interesting about this? They're talking about things women aren't supposed to talk about.
Yeah, you don't typically hear women talk about all the best practices in that world. So I don't know. Their audience is rabid. Their audience.
I know there is, but I don't get it. It's like, so if there were two dudes talking about the same
First
thing.
of all, I heard you say this. I don't know. Was it? I feel like I feel like maybe we talked about it quickly at the end of the show. They're talented. Like, say what you want. They are internet YouTube talented. The host of the show is really
because they can deep throat.
No, because she's just entertaining. She's just entertaining, and you don't get to a million downloads an episode without being somewhat entertaining.
I just feel like it's vulgar. Like a comment says, it's vulgar for the point of being vulgar. It's not like witty. It's not like what's the we're edgy. We're breaking all the rules here. We talk about cock here and shit like that. Oh yeah, how big is the cock you sucked last night? Oh, so big. I needed 2 hands. Like that's. Oh, so edgy. Oh, I got eaten out last night, but he did it all wrong.
Yeah, because you're right. You're right in the sense that, like, if 2 guys just did it, all they did was talk about their hookups every week, they'd be fucking cremated. Like, they would be crushed.
They would and nobody would listen because it's like that's what guys talk about anyway. Yeah,
correct.
It's not interesting. Like, there's nothing interesting.
But the premise is this is locker room talk for women. So and there's nothing else out there. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. There is nothing else out there. So were they popular before Dave Portnoy and
no.
So
I think the girl Alex, which I think if you listen to that clip, you can kind of tell who's the good one and who's the bad one. The girl Alex, who's the main host, she's the blonde one. She started a YouTube page. I think she was like a YouTube vlogger. And then that's her best friend.
She's the one that dated Syndergaard. Noah Syndergaard.
Yes, correct.
And that's how she became famous kind of in the first place.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure there's some articles about her.
But she's famous because of who she fucked.
Probably. Okay. And then she started a vlog because I remember seeing some shit just as Barstool signed her about her. And then she had the idea with that girl Sophia to start Caller Daddy when they were on vacation together. And that's when I think Alex just shopped it around to different companies. She met with Dave and Dave signed her up. So that all the stories, like, now it started kind of leaking in the New York Post over the last probably 4 to 6 weeks, because they've been off the air for 4 to 6 weeks, of basically saying they got so fucking big that they were doing everything in their power to fuck over Barstool Sports, basically behind.
What were they doing?
So they were shopping the podcast to other companies. So they allegedly, what happened was, like, they were signed to $50,000 a year deals, and then they had listenership bumps, and they would always reach the listenership bumps. So that's why, and I'm not trying to, like, get too ahead of it from the story, but, like, one of the reasons why all their fans seem to still be siding with Dave Portnoy, who they may not even really know that well, they're siding with Dave because their fans were used to hearing this podcast where it's 2 women who say they live together in a shithole apartment and they make no money, and they're the girls that yell, like, I'm poor, buy me dinner and shit like that. And it turns out they got to 1 million fucking downloads after month 1, and their $50,000 a year salary, when it was all said and done, they were making $500,000 a year with performances, bonuses.
Yeah.
They're crying poor every episode to their audience. and they're making $500,000 a year.
I mean, I know it's expensive to live in New York City, but Jesus Christ, you got no kids. You're sharing a fucking apartment with some other chick, and you get paid to talk about. They did one fucking podcast a week, Dave. One.
Yep.
I mean, what the fuck do they do all week?
Well, I'm shocked. I'm shocked they didn't start doing 2, 3 a week. If you have those numbers, I mean, Barstool said they were clearing $100,000 an episode.
Yeah.
So that's bananas.
So I'm Team Portnoy in this one. 100. This is like Dave at his finest when he's like this. Because these whores, that's what they are. Like, let's be honest. That's how they market themselves. We're whores, right? And it's funny. We're edgy. Cool. Okay. So you are, first of all, they're like 26 years old. You're nothing. Dave Portnoy made you, and he made, not only did he make you, he made you wealthy, like pretty wealthy. You make a lot of money for somebody of your talent and of your age.
Don't you think that's kind of debatable though? Like, I know that's the first thing people have gone to is that they were nobodies and Dave signed them to a deal, so Barstool made them. But at the end of the day, Barstool's audience is, what? They're the frat boys, right? So how did all of a sudden this female-centric podcast go through the roof just because they were with Barstool Sports when Barstool's entire audience is male? There's got to be I'm not saying that Barstool didn't they got a Barstool bump.
Yeah, let's see. Ever since they brought Erica Nardini in, 3 or 4 years ago, they've done a lot to market themselves towards women. They've hired a series of very untalented women, like fucking, what's that, Liz Gonzalez.
Yeah, but what do you think? 70-30?
Yeah, probably. That's what I would guess. 70-30, which is probably was 90-10 before she came on. That'd be my guess.
But so you think that 30% is enough to propel a podcast to 1 million downloads each? I have to think that somehow their innate ability, talent wise, attracted that female audience on the web. But at the end of the day, you still need a bump from a media company like that. So
yeah, I mean, that's my whole point. So Dave Portnoy did what I did. Right, he made something from nothing. Right,
yep.
He had a job, he quit it because he put all in on fucking literally. Barstool Sports used to be a print magazine,
newspapers,
advertising in the back of. So, and he would go and put them on the tee and shit like that, working crazy hours, brick by brick, built this fucking company from it that sold for 15 million, and then it sold again for how many million?
It was at 100. I can't remember now. Was it like 130 or so? I can't remember.
What's he worth? $25 million.
They just said he just said today, because he's doing that like trading shit on whatever. He just said he got back to 100. He's worth $100 million. $100
million. Okay, so this is a guy who made this all on his own, right? Yep. And I deeply admire anybody that can do that. That's fucking awesome. Get your money, right? Yep. And he creates a platform for people like guys like Big Cat. Big Cat is nothing without him. None of these guys, except for like the people that the established entities like. Kind of Pat McAfee. Some of these people were already somewhat famous before they came on there. But for the most part, he makes them. And I did the same with fucking Bristol. This is the exact same thing with Bristol Blinding. Were you following that whole saga? Did you see some of that?
To some degree. Degree.
Okay. So it's a long story, but basically I brought her on, right? Yep. She got a YouTube show, and her show started getting more views than mine did because she fucking fixated on this one particular guy named Josh Abrams, who is like Mr. Internet douchebag and everybody hates him. So by being the anti-Abrams, all these people started coming in.
Yep.
And it went to her head. You could see it in every single show. There was one famous show in October where they had a huge audience, and I asked her to share the link to the fundraiser. And she rolled her eyes at me when I called in. I'm like, share it. And she refused to. Like, I'm like, oh, this fucking cunt.
She's on your platform.
On my platform. And she goes, we're not doing that on my show. It's like, bitch, this ain't your show. This is my show. Don't ever forget that. The whole Bristol crew thing, that's property of Turtle Boy Sports. I'll get a lawyer if I fucking need to. This is mine. Right. And it's the same with Call Her Daddy. Call Her Daddy is.
By the way, I'm sure you had some kind of deal with her, right? Like if you sold a Bristol Crew T-shirt, she made a little money on that, right? If you put donations out there, would you have given her some? You know what I mean? To pay for her time.
75%.
There you go.
She made 75% of all money that came in on the super chat. All money that came in on, donations, anything like that, 75% on the Patreon.
Yeah, you were fair.
Very generous thing, and when we were negotiating with her about it, she's like, well, why should you get, she offered me 15. And I'm like, 15, that's it. She goes, well, you're not doing anything. It's like, bitch, I created this opportunity. Let's not
Yep.
forget that. Like, this opportunity doesn't exist. The work I've done has been put into it prior to this happening. So like that was my work, is years and years of building a platform that makes it possible for you to make any money at all. And that's
Yep.
what Portnoy did.
Well, you and Portnoy are personality driven, basically media companies, right? Like there's a figurehead that makes everything underneath it work, right?
Yeah.
It's different in like traditional media where it's, WEEI, WBZ, like there's nobody there defining really what those places are. So they just put people there and then cross their fingers and hope they work. You work. So anyone underneath you, if you tell your audience, go listen to Bristol, they're going to go fucking listen to Bristol because they listen to what you say. It's actually a genius model. So
yeah, thank you. Well, people trusted her because I told her, because I trusted her. You know what I mean? If I had been like, she can't trust this cunt from the beginning, people would have been skeptical of it. But I trusted her. I told them, and so that's why I blame myself for it more than anything, because I'm like, well, I'm the one that created this monster.
Well, even the show that we do together once a week, your audience may not have been super familiar with Jerry, but you like Jerry, and you told your audience to go listen.
And guess what?
And I feel like even if you weren't on it, if you just told your audience to listen, they would have listened.
Yeah, well, they are now. Like, I didn't share the Shattuck one today, and there was 130 people in there the whole time. Like, my audience, they're regular Jerry Callahan people now. I've brought them over to his platform. They're daily listeners now. Thanks to the Facebook thing. That's people are less likely to just go on Apple, you know what I mean, than they are to turn on Facebook and just whatever's on is on. And the algorithms, if you watch it once, it's going to come up the next day in your algorithm. And that's what people are doing now. They're going to it every day. Now we'll see what Reamer, it might be less unless I call in, and I think we all know what will happen then, which I will.
We will see. We will see.
So it's very similar to what these women did. It's like they really thought they were bigger than him, because Jenna Marbles did the same to Dave like 15 years ago. Remember that?
Right. Yeah.
And I think he learned his lesson from that. If you guys watch Jenna Marbles, she's still on YouTube. I never fucking.
I think she is. You never see her anymore though. She's
name you don't hear anymore. But he made her, and he learned the hard way that you can become famous off of him and then fuck him over. And so with these women, when he signs a contract, they sign over the intellectual property rights to the show. What is that? It's just like the brand name, I believe.
Yeah, just the Call Her Daddy brand name, but that's a big deal because now in the podcasting world, it's not just the podcast, it's the merchandise, it's the alcohol, it's the tour, it's the, you know what I mean? It's live events, it's all this shit. It's like Dave, in the latest thing that he was saying, he almost was making it seem like all he gave a fuck about was the alcohol deal that they were about to do. Like, alcohol must be the new trend, like branded alcohol,
right?
Certain things, yeah.
And I just feel like if you replace these two chicks with any two other just New York City 25-year-old, I go out and get wasted, and oh my god, this guy, he had like limp dick, and I couldn't get like.
That's where I would not battle, because I don't think that's true. I mean, at the end of the day, I'll still go because I just think, I mean, there's no other show like it, and there's no other show like it for a reason. Like, they're not probably people have tried it and failed. There is some level of they have talent and they're successful because of that talent. You know what I mean? It's a combination of they have talent, they picked the right partner, it exploded, timing, all this shit. But I'm not just going to say that you can, like, if they go away and you just plug two women in there, there's no saying that that's going to be a guaranteed success.
I disagree. I think we could take any two chicks. I think I could take North Shore Turtle Babe and Leah Genduso and do their show very easily.
Real and
it would be hotter.
Prove me wrong. I guess I don't side always in the way of the talent. Like, I think that they're obviously trying to fuck over Dave. If you have a deal, honor your fucking deal. But unfortunately, like, these internet celebrities nowadays, like, they all fucking do this. Like, they're a dime a dozen. You know what I mean? They all latch on the backs of somebody else, and then at some point get pissed off that they're getting they're only getting 20 cents on the dollar, but they don't realize that they really, they were handed like a fucking money pit by whoever gave them the opportunity. I don't know. It's just, it's definitely an issue. Like, it's
so the reason it fell apart is because he offered them, like, he caved. He's just like, fine, have the fucking keys to the kingdom. Like, you get the IP, which is the most valuable thing about it, because, if he held on to the Call Her Daddy, what intellectual property, then in theory he could just put two other chicks under the same brand and continue to market it that way, right? But
Yes,
not if he
because-
doesn't own it.
and also because he owns the podcast feed, right? So if you know, like
Yeah.
all the subscribers, that just downloads on your phone every fucking day. So if they're not there tomorrow and
Yeah.
he sticks 2 more people in, there could be 1 million people that get that no matter what. So you're right in a sense that they could pluck two people out of nowhere, because the reality is the people are already subscribed and they're probably just too lazy to go fucking unsubscribe. To be
Tell me
honest.
more about the alcohol thing. That's what people are asking. People are like, should we make now you got me thinking Turtle Boy moonshine?
I
how does
should look
that work?
into it. I want to look into it a little more. So when I was hammered on this show a couple weeks ago, I was consuming, because I'm a big fan of one Barstool podcast, Spittin' Chicklets.
Okay,
And on the show, Ryan Whitney, who's from this area, he always would just drop references where his drink was pink lemonade and vodka, right? And so his co-host randomly, my dog's going ape shit in front of me. His co-host randomly decided he must have met somebody in the alcohol business, and they said, we're going to go make a deal to make pink lemonade flavored vodka. So basically your traditional bullshit Smirnoff flavored bullshit, right? But they partnered with New Amsterdam Vodka. They call it Pink Whitney, and it blew up because all the Barstool audience and all the audience of that podcast specifically, it was the #1 alcohol.
Where does it sell? Online?
It sells all over the place. It sells it all. You could go find it tomorrow.
How do you get in the stores though? How do you get? Do they just have sales reps?
Oh, they have a distributor. It's through New Amsterdam Vodka, just branded under New Amsterdam Vodka, which is clearly they're getting a portion of the sales. So let's just call it like they're getting 30 cents per bottle, right? But think about the hundreds of thousands of bottles that are out there or whatever. And then on top of it, New Amsterdam Vodka is probably spending millions of dollars with Barstool Sports. So it's a win-win, and you're promoting it on the podcast. So it's brilliant. I assume the success of that has led other podcasting companies to say, shit, these people have a stranglehold on their audience. Let's go brand alcohol with podcast. You know what I mean? With other, so you could clearly make some, what are all the women drinking right now? It could be a Collar Daddy. What's the Truly seltzer shit? You know what I mean? Collar Daddy seltzer or something like that. So that's got to be a trend. It's got to. I don't know.
I think we need to get that. We need a Turtle Boy booze. I think that's.
What do you ever drink on the show? What do you drink?
I drink iced coffee. I'll drink whatever though. I'll sell myself. I don't care. I'll sell my soul.
Start casually, start drinking the same thing casually.
Do I need to invent the drink?
Do you have a special drink that you like to drink if you're mixing things together?
You know what I like? It's gonna sound ghetto as shit. I like gin and juice, just gin and orange juice. Yeah, favorite stiff drink. It's so good.
Selling it, but somehow make it green, right? Like somehow it's got to turn green.
Ooh, it just should turn green. You're right.
Yeah. So we get on that.
Yeah. All right. So basically, I don't know where we were with these chicks, but we got to talk about the villain in this whole fucking story, because this is the wild part. This is a show.
Before you go to the villain, though, they just kept basically poking Dave, right? They just kept poking him, being like, and Dave kept finding out that all of a sudden Wondery, which is a podcast company, Wondery has a deal with them to do a podcast with them called The Fathers, because they can't get the IP from Barstool. So they're going to leave Barstool, go do this podcast, The Fathers, with Wondery, and they're just completely fucking over Dave. And Dave just catches them in every fucking lie. And because they make so much money, Dave just keeps giving them what they want, or offering them what they want, right? And they're too fucking stupid to take it, right? Yeah. And then finally, and you're going to start talking about this guy, Peter Nelson, who's up there. Peter Nelson is a guy allegedly pulling the strings behind the scenes. He's an executive with HBO Sports, and he's dating Sophia, which is the worst
fucking guy.
Yeah,
he looks like he's made out of wax or something. Like he literally looks like the villain in every episode of Law and Order SVU that involves date rape, and that thinks he can get one past Benson, but he can't. He's too cocky, stock trader by day, date rapist by night. That's this fucking guy. He doesn't even look real.
Yep.
And he's like some HBO exec, some Lucky Sperm. Kirk did an awesome job going down his old resume today. Just the complete phony douchebag package. Claims to be a champion for women's sports and all this shit. And mind you, this is a show
he's from here, by the way, right?
Newton, he's from Newton. Yeah. Doesn't he look like every douchebag from Newton ever?
Yep.
I mean, I would guess he's from Newton just by looking at him. He reeks of it. He reeks of it.
40 under 40. I read that about him, and it said like, favorite causes, and it's like the symphony orchestra of wherever. You know what I mean? It's some bullshit, the opera or whatever. I don't know.
Exactly. Now, if you're this chick, you're hot. I mean, you're famous. You're doing well for yourself. You don't need a rich guy, right? He's obviously wealthy, but you don't need a rich guy because you're doing pretty well yourself.
No, but you probably want it. You probably, and she just came on money. She just came upon money. It's
But
not
what
like,
the hell does she see in it? I mean, you're looking like,
yeah,
why the fuck would you date this dude? I mean, you're way hotter than him. No?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I'd
First
say,
of all, I would be afraid to date her, right?
Yep.
Or either of those two chicks, because if things go bad, she's gonna talk about you.
Well, that's the premise of the podcast, basically. They're always telling their stories, and they're always talking about how the guy that they're sleeping with listens then to the podcast and gets pissed at them. That's part of the storyline.
That's fucking terrible. I mean, like, what the fuck?
Supposedly, like this guy, and they've been, let's just for argument's sake say they've been dating for 4 months. This guy behind the scenes is the one basically saying like, you two got a gold mine. You should be talking to X, Y, and Z. It's not confirmed. Portnoy was even out with a video today that nobody knows if he's pulling the strings, but it feels that way. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, of course he is. Of course he is, because one of them agreed. Dave offered them this huge, awesome deal. One of them took it, the blonde. The other one didn't. So now there's a rift between them. So much for female empowerment. This dude comes in, fucks it all up. They could have made millions of dollars, and now what? I mean, she'll be fine. She'll land on her feet. She'll figure something out.
And here's this guy, right? Here's this failure of I mean, I'm going to say failure. He's obviously made it, but I mean, I was looking into him. He's with HBO Sports. Obviously, he basically he ran HBO's boxing division. HBO was fucking huge with boxing as I was growing up. They had every big fight. They had every Tyson fight. No, they don't anymore. 2 years ago, they got out of the boxing business. And who's the guy who was leading that? That's him. So basically, he was a fucking failure. Now we can blame the sport of boxing, and people are losing interest. But at the end of the day, he was the leader there. I remember my whole life growing up with friggin' huge boxing matches on HBO. And now they're all gone, and that was the guy in charge. So.
Like, he looks like every single guy who went to St. John Shrewsbury. Every single fucking guy. You know what I mean? Where are you from, Dave?
I'm from Westwood, Massachusetts.
Okay, so that would be Zavarian. I would imagine like that's what Zavarian bros look like, right?
Yeah, or like younger, but Dexter. Like I'm trying to think of all the other schools around me. But yes, your point is well known. Yeah.
So yeah, first of all, Dave, I got to be honest. Has Dave redeemed himself tonight? I'm learning shit. I had no idea.
That's part of it. I'm not saying I'm good. I'm not talented or anything.
No, it's smart when you're not drinking and stuck on your phone and talking about mute. You're not.
We already fought about this, and you predicted it perfectly. I got a dumb tweet. So then I texted you, and I'm like, I'm coming on. I'm clearly blackout drunk. It was the dumbest thing. And I just thought you wanted to shit on mute, so I'd defend him. And then I figured I'd get the hell out of there. And I was even talking to just in the comments on Facebook today with Leah, and I was just saying, like, I think I was trying to do like a bit, like I'm so rattled by the comments when I'm really not. Like I don't give a fuck.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious.
But I think it really was like trying to do a drunk bit, and I guess you could kind of say it worked because people have just been giving me shit ever since. So it's like there's no such thing as a bad reaction, right?
People liked your humility too. You were a good sport about it because people were just fucking ripping you, and you came back and I was drunk. To
be fair, because the only like actual portion of that evening that I remember, and I'm not just saying I'm not trying to be that guy that says like, oh, I was drunk. I was very, very intoxicated.
Oh, I couldn't tell. You were burping.
The only thing I remember is how fast and fucking ferocious the comments were coming in.
Comments coming. I don't know. I can't read them all. I can't keep up with these people. They're very.
The only comparison, like when I was kind of in that Minahan world for a while, I'd go on Instagram Live and try to do these things, and comments would come so fast. I'm like, how the fuck do people hold your phone and read comments and talk at the same time? And I was comparing it to that. Like that was even faster. That was like 20 times faster. There's no way you could do this show and look at those comments at the same time. You'd go fucking crazy.
By the way, Suzanne, we'd like to thank Suzanne. She says, I don't need help with bills, but can I claim you on my tax return? Love the turtle. I think you can. I think you can count these as like charitable donations. Don't hold me to that. Talk to your accountant.
Supporting journalism, right? supporting
think
journalism.
so, yes, independent journalism. Right.
Yep.
I mean, Rich Bridges says, pumping out some awesome stories today. The turtle is only the real news left. Thank you, my friend. David Owen, aka Drenched for David, says, congrats to Cullinane on being the second best David on the show.
Ooh,
There you go.
I'll
Yeah.
take that.
Yeah.
He was. I listened to him recently, and he was really good. He knew his shit about Jen Royal. So
Yes, no, David knows
big
his
fan for
fucking
David
turtle
guy.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Big
if I were to have like a turtle quiz, like
Yep.
if I did like a AP Turtle Boy and I had like, 80 fucking really hard multiple choice questions, an essay, a DBQ, all this stuff, like I wonder who would score the highest. I bet you David Owen would be up there.
He'd be up there.
Yeah. Even though he only, because Dave's been around for a couple of years now, but he's like a researcher of Turtle Boy. Like he's gone and read blogs from before his time, 2015, 2016. Because there was this blog in 2014 that the really old school turtle riders kind of liked. It's like when you like the band's older shit, or they're into, you know what I mean? Those band snobs are like, Wolf, I've been liking them since this fucking song that you never heard of, their Sucky album,
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
the single. It's always like the track 12 on the CD. Yeah,
before they got big. Yeah. And old school turtle riders, I did this blog in September of 2014 called Busgate. That's what we call it. And basically a bunch of asshole. It put Turtle Boy in the map. I had a couple hundred followers before that. And then in one day, I gained like 5,000 followers on Facebook because the blog just fucking blew up, got like 100,000 views. And it was just about this parents who went Blair Witch on this bus, in a school bus in Worcester, when they wouldn't let the kids off because of the parents didn't follow procedure or something. And it was kind of a viral video, and I just fucking ripped the parents apart. I found out all their names. I found out one of them was a sex offender, like all this shit. I put them all out there. And so the old school turtle riders love to be like on the newer turtle riders. They like to be like, well, I've been around since Busgate. Busgate? There's a lot of that going around. David has not been around since Busgate, but he's
but he knows all about it.
A researcher of Turtle Boy. So I feel like I do wonder about that. Like, who would be the top turtle? Like, if I was like to just put 100 pictures of ratchets without names out there and be like, how many could you name? Like, that would be an interesting test.
I feel like I get the vibe from you that you want to do more shit like that. I don't know if it's like kind of like what Kirk's doing with all like other people hosting shows in the YouTube page, but I don't know why. Like I texted you the other day, like random marketing ideas. And I feel like even though you shit on it, you were like into the fact that I was tossing you ideas because you're in this zone. I think you're in a growth zone.
I am. Well, I'm always interested in improving the product, Dave.
Yes.
And making it a more user-friendly, user-engaged experience, because that's really what it's all about. We have a great, like you said, the audience, they post a lot, they comment a lot, they're really into it. So I want to, and I'm thinking about making like a turtle club, and it is coming soon. What do you guys think of this name? I want to make it sound classy. Like, how Barstool Gold has their whole thing, right? I want to make something like that, but not quite the same. It would be like, extra content if you join the club. What do you think of the name, the Finer Riders Club?
The Finer Rider. I kind of like that
because I want to make it sound sophisticated.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like the Finer Riders.
Sophisticated, but still kind of like corny because it's this tight knit community, right? Yeah, that's
exactly.
Good.
We're doing riders, the Finer Riders. I don't know. That's my favorite choice so far, but we'll get back to that. But that's the kind of content that I would have on the Finer Riders Club that wouldn't be on regular Turtle Boy blogs. Is fun shit like that really the diehards, because that's who would join the Finer Riders Club, right? Is people who are really into it.
Yep.
Not your average person that just comes and reads the blow up blogs and stuff like that. But
I texted you yesterday. I gave you shit about the fact that you need to ramp up your podcast because you are on Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. The fact of the matter is you are doing it. So I really can't shit on you, but I don't think you take it seriously.
I don't know what the thing about the podcast is, Dave. I mean, I had a podcast before the YouTube shit, but like, how do you promote a podcast?
First of all, you monetize by donations, right? And the reality is, and you could still do that with podcasts, but I think that you have a big enough audience that you can start to grow that and monetize it with traditional advertising. There's a lot of people who just can't watch you on video, I would assume. I remember that when you did the interview with Leah, I listened to that as a podcast because I couldn't watch it whenever you did it. And then I listened to it on the podcast the next morning or some morning driving into the Legacy Club. You know what I mean? Because
Leah was not bad, that show, to be honest. It was better on video.
Okay, but you can't background listen they probably are shitting on us now because we're not talking stories or whatever. But you can't background listen on YouTube unless you pay for YouTube. And why do you want somebody paying for YouTube when you don't get anything out of that? So you should.
Here's my problem with advertisers, Dave, is that I have an advertiser and then they just get bombarded with people harassing them.
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't think that'll be a problem for national. I don't think that'll be a problem for national advertisers, but that will take you a while.
Because that's ultimately what drove Kirk and Jerry off the air. Was a guy just harassing their fucking advertisers, But Jerry doesn't have that problem now.
Jerry doesn't have that problem because he is all local and it's super loyal advertisers there. National is actually like kind of starting to pick up. It was picking up right before this fucking virus, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then they all had to cancel. But now it's kind of picking back up now, and they're just buying impressions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not really.
If you people out there have ideas, I mean, send them in. I want to make something that people want, like something cool. So my idea for like the Finer Riders Club would be things that you get it. We'd have 2 tiers, right? Maybe 3 tiers, but ad free would be part of it. You get a free mug, like the official Finer Riders mug.
Yep.
You get we'd have weekly giveaways and stuff like that. You're automatically entered to be in the giveaways for t-shirts and shit like that, whatever. You'd also get a weekly newsletter in which I give you like the top 5 comments of the week. I chronicle the best comments of the week on all platforms, put them on there. The top 5, what would be a good thing? Check this out. I'll show you this. Watch this out. So you can see on our analytics on our back page, right? Where'd it go? Actually, I can go right here. You can see on our analytics on our back page what people Googled to get to Turtle Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some funny fucking shit on there. So, like, let's see. Is this loading here? Can we see it? Oh, there it is. It's always like there's some people write some weird shit in to find us. Like, let's see on today. Katie Hill nudes. 8 people did that. I'm like, for SEO when it comes to Katie Hill nudes, the former congressman, I'm like top. I might be page 1 if you Google Katie Hill nudes. Whatever. So, let's see here. Yeah, like check. So here's some good ones. Let's see. Look at all these. My 18-year-old sis fucked my 15-year-old cock story. That's somebody Googled that and came to Turtle Boy.
That's fantastic.
Fudge dragon woman. Okay. Like what? Like it's all not Katie Hill nudes. Trump bootstrapping time machine. Governor Baker sucks.
That's a good one. Yep.
Why white privilege is false. District Attorney Rachel Rollins. Okay, they come up for that. 6-year-old boy fucks mom. Okay. Where does Jimmy Stewart from Felger and Maz live in what town? Straight men.
Have you blogged about him before?
I have blogged about him before. Yes. Yeah. Straight men. Homoerotic Vine. That might have been somebody looking for Reamer. I'm not too sure about that. But you know what I mean? Like this would be funny. Isn't that content that you would like to see? Like
yes.
Top 5 funniest shit people, search for. Yeah. So we could put that in the Fighting Writers Club. We could put a lot of funny shit in there.
You just get kicked off YouTube. Suzanne just texted something in the private chat.
Did she?
Yeah. Check the private chat.
Private chat. I think I'm on.
Unless am I reading that wrong? She wrote off YouTube.
I don't know which. Oh, she wants to come on. She wants to come on. Okay, let's see if we can. Suzanne, we're gonna do an in and out thing. So we struggled with Suzanne last time. Let's see.
Backstage. She's backstage.
Okay, let's add her on. Suzanne, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
All right, good. We did it.
Yes, I finally succeeded. Thank you so much.
What's happening? What do you got?
All right, I have an idea.
Okay.
How about hard shell riders?
Hard shell riders? How hard shell riders?
Yeah, hard shell riders.
Okay, let me write that down.
That's for the hard show That's for the private club. Hard show riders.
Yeah.
What's the appeal behind that? What do you like about that name? Hard shell riders.
Well,
because
we're kind of hard asses.
Okay.
And we're turtle riders.
True, we are right. I definitely wanted to keep the name Riders.
It's literally the name she came up with. It's the explanation is the exact name.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I don't
I
know.
think I'm with Turtle Boy still. I think I'm with Turtle Boy
It's
for that.
kind of unique.
Yeah, it is.
Well, if anybody, I like it. That's a good question. If anybody else wants to call up and suggest any, they're very good. Anything else, Suzanne?
No, I still want to claim you as a dependent on my tax returns, but
Yeah, definitely. I swear to God, right? Talk to your accountant. I bet you might be able to. So,
and Dave, when
Yeah.
everything's over and done with, we're getting you out for drinks and we're doing shots.
Yep.
And calling you Turtle Rider.
I love it. I love it. I'm there. Tell me when and
Take
where.
care, love. Bye-bye.
right. All right. Looks like we got somebody else here too. Who do we got?
And by the way, just because I want to be nice, horrible name. The way I was looking at her, I didn't want to be a dick. Horrible. No, horrible name.
Okay. Okay. Laura, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I
Well-
don't know if I want to now because I don't want to end on a bit of a downer. I thought you might want to hear your mean comments on Reddit.
Oh, okay. So Laura
But
runs the Reddit page,
Yeah.
and she can see the mean thing. People fucking hate Turtle Boy on Reddit, Dave. They hate it. So Laura
Yeah.
can read the mean comments that people sent the Reddit page today. Let's hear it.
Hold on, before you do, is it a mean comment? Like, is it in the Turtle Boy community, or is it just
No,
like
no.
random other communities that hate him?
Subreddit. So it's like under the posts and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
But I must warn you, they might make you cry.
Okay, give it to me.
Right. So, Aidan, if it smells like shit everywhere you go, or with every website you make on every social media platform, maybe it's time to check your own shoe. The reason you can't quit is because at this point your name is so toxic you couldn't get hired anywhere besides maybe InfoWars.
I wish I could get hired at InfoWars. I'd take a fucking job with them in a second.
Okay. There's another. This one's at fans themselves. So here we go.
Okay, here we go.
The internet. It's a great place where you can create your own website and say whatever you want on it. It's not Facebook's fault that your target demographic is too stupid to go directly to you.
That's not true at all. Well, kind of it is. It kind
Well,
of
these I've got a couple more. This is from someone who's gone to trouble of creating a profile picture with your face on it. Okay.
Ooh.
Hatred is real, right?
Yo, let's hear it.
Here we go. These are just short ones. I don't dig unemployed short guys. Sorry to disappoint you, Aidan.
That's all they ever say.
And-
They mentioned me in my basement. That's the other thing I like to say. Unemployed.
Yeah, they do. And this one. Why does your face always look like someone put icy hot on your balls? I don't know what icy hot is.
That's a good one. Okay, that's a good one. I think it's gonna be bad. These are funny.
And then watch your mouth. I might make you cry, and then we'll have to go to court in Leominster. LOL. So they sound like an evil baddie there.
Yeah.
And the last one is probably the most devastating of them all. So be ready for it. Okay. Oh, Aidan, you're such a Karen.
Hey, fuck off. Oh, man.
So there you go. There's your mean tweet, courtesy of your mean comments, courtesy of Reddit.
Those weren't even bad. I mean, some of them were true. About the Facebook, it's so fucking true. And you know it's true. How many times can we be like how many times have people commented when the Facebook pages went down all the time? People would be in the comments like, "You should start your own website." It's like, "Oh, fuck,
yeah."
Like,
this is a great bit, almost entirely for the fact of like nothing sounds mean coming from her. It sounds like really. It sounds
like Mama
so
Pig.
nice. Yeah.
I was trying to sound like, I don't know, a bit how they sound quite bossy and all knowing and a little bit like baddie like, but I don't think I kind of got there, did I?
No, you're like a friendly Mary Poppins kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Laura. I appreciate that.
No problem. Bye.
It's a nice little bit. Liked it.
Yeah. All right. If anybody else wants to come in, I'll do a quick. I'll add the stream real quick to it. And if you have any questions, I'll answer any questions that you guys got. Feel free to ask away in the comments. And like I said, I'm always down for recommendations to improve the product or whatever. All right. Let's see. The boyfriend was yelling at me to have Dave show the dog. Everyone wants to see your dog. Didn't you have the dog?
Oh, yeah. I did. Can I? I don't want to. The wires will all fuck up. Well, the wires will get fucked. Harper, come here. Harper, come.
Harper, that's right.
Hold on. She needs a fucking grooming, though. I'll tell you that much. We need groomers to be open.
They are open.
Are they open as of
There's like a long line to get into them?
I think Monday they're open. Hold on, let's see. Can you see? Come here.
Yeah,
come here. You can't pull this off on other podcasts. This is nice. Thank you, listeners, for wanting my dog.
I'm not calling the gym. I mean, I called him. I'm not begging him to come on the show. Okay. I gave him a call. He doesn't want to come on. You know what I mean? Wants to go on the low rate. Oh, there's the dog. Holy shit, that's a shaggy dog. Good lord.
Well, now it looks it needs a.
Yeah, that dog needs to get to the groomers.
Yep. We'll be there Monday.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else, guys? Before we call it a night. I won in court again. I don't know if you saw that blog yesterday. I took down. Well, that attorney, by the way, is leading. Unfortunately, Attorney Foho is leading the charge in the state of New Hampshire. He's suing the state to reopen the businesses. He's representing a woman who had her business shut down there, which normally him and I would be on the same team.
Yeah, it sounds like he's doing God's work.
Well, I couldn't possibly. It's a really important cause, and it couldn't possibly be in the hands of a bigger moron. Like, that's like, oh, give me. I'm more upset about that. Like, Jesus Christ, the fate of freedom is in the hands of this fucking guy, you know?
Did he have to, when you were in court, are they just reading off all the comments and emails and texts that you've sent him before? Like, does he have to, is that get out there verbally? Where, like, didn't you like make fun of the size of his dick or something like that?
Well, yeah, I said in the, I made a joke in there that that was entered into evidence. I said, what do you call an Italian guy with, I mean, what do you, I fucked up joke up already. What do you call a Greek guy with a big dick? Italian. That's the answer. Yeah. So that was actually entered into evidence, and they played like voicemails of turtle riders calling them up, leaving like prank phone calls and shit, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's gotta be great. That's gonna be great to witness.
Yeah. People are saying, is it true that Foho can no longer rep Feta Cheese Freddy because he came after you? Yes, that's one good thing about this is they can't sue me for it anymore. He can no longer represent the douchebag because he now has a conflict of interest. So, any other questions, guys?
I feel like we didn't get into anything. Oh, how about the dude, the blog you wrote about the guy who killed the pedophile?
Oh, that whole thing. Yeah. People,
wild.
I got to follow come on. The family says they're suing me. I shit you not.
What?
The family says they're suing me. I got the screenshots on it. Let me see if I can find them, and I'll read them.
The dude from Nebraska?
Yeah, that was a good story today. The guy who killed the pedophile.
Yeah.
A good story.
I thought you meant that family. I was like, what?
No. Oh, no. Okay, so there was a guy who beat the shit out of his girlfriend in Plymouth. And last week he and I blogged about him, and I made some jokes in there like I always do, like you should just kill yourself. Yep. You know, you're an animal, you know, shit like that. No, he actually killed himself. He actually
right.
Yeah. That. So now the family is apparently suing me. And if I could, I got all the screenshots on here somewhere. They say that they're going to take me to court for causing his suicide. I get blamed for suicide all the time. Like I've been getting blamed for suicide way long before Michelle Carter invented it. Like I invented the whole, revenge suicide game, but I've never, I'm no more responsible for that than Jerry is responsible for Aaron Hernandez.
Mm-hmm.
And people love to blame it. It's like, no, how about people just kill themselves sometimes? How about that? People are responsible for their own shit.
How come you want to? Is the show not going well, and that's why you want to sign off after an hour when you haven't gotten to any of the other shit that you wrote about this week? You didn't talk about the cop.
Well, I got
who's gonna throw the fucking kid off a bridge. We didn't even talk about that.
Well, I also save shit for the weekend. I don't.
I got
a recap of the day. We got the weekend show coming up. That's the big one.
Sorry.
So, all right. Any other questions you guys got? But I love your enthusiasm, Dave.
I know. Hey, listen, I'm prepared today. I'm prepared.
Be prepared, man. This is fucking a new side of you, man. New side of you.
What can I say? There's some real. Maybe they don't show it, but towards the end, actually no, probably like the second or probably the third or fourth episode of Jerry's show, there was some real Turtle Boy Dave moments on the show where it was quickly turning into a Turtle Boy and Dave are taking this fucking podcast over and they're running with it. There were some moments.
Yesterday on the show, we had over 200 for most of the time. It was fantastic.
Can we clarify your arguments for a second? I have nothing but respect for the audience you've built and especially, I'm not gonna say especially because it's really not that big of a deal, but like what you do on Facebook, right? We just launched a Facebook page 3 weeks ago. Jerry's not even on Facebook. I'm not good at Facebook. I'm basically like stealing videos of Donald Trump and posting them all day. Like that's all I do. I know that you are the only reason why we have viewers there. My only point is it has yet to reflect in podcast downloads, which is how we monetize the show.
We
So
see
that's
that.
not disrespect, but I think long term it'll have an impact if we can grow that Facebook page. And I think the bump that you give me, kind of like the bump that Portnoy gives Caller Daddy and that you give Bristol Barney, I think you give me a bump on Facebook that long term will play out in the right way, right? So I'll give you credit there.
The numbers, people want to see the downloads.
See I said first of all, I will always. I'm not giving away any download numbers because Jerry Callahan owns those numbers. I said every episode is within 10% of each other. Every single episode. I'm telling you, it's the Jerry Callahan podcast for a reason.
I believe that. I believe that. But
maybe it's because Turtle Riders are watching the streams and they're not going and downloading the podcast. So I don't see.
We're not a big podcast community. Like my podcasts get under 1,000 downloads every time. I don't push it. We're not podcast people around here. We're live people around here. We do the YouTube gets way more freaking views than the podcast gets.
Yeah, but you don't push it. We push the podcast, right? So we have.
Yes.
I think we're close to 2.5 million downloads total now. So like it's a big fucking deal. So I appreciate it. I respect it. I know, but I just kind of know, I don't know. But like I said, I think long term, if we can grow that page, it's probably going to be because of the bump that you gave us early on. So
yeah, man, we help each other out, and I feel like it's more fun when Turtle Boy's on there. You got to be honest. It's fun.
It's a good time. Yeah, because you like to fuck around. You're easy to fuck around with. Like there's nothing I can say that's going to piss you off. Not that I'm the guy to say. I hate doing it remotely though. By the way, I literally
doing it remotely.
I despise this platform.
Yeah.
I end up like it's very weird. I know when you go to listen to it in podcast form, it doesn't sound perfect because we're not in studio and all this shit. It sounds awful when you do it live. Like it cracks. Like Jerry gets. Have you ever been on the stream where Jerry can't figure out his headphones and flips the fuck out?
It's funny.
Like, it's just like it's insanity. I want no part. I want to be back in the studio.
Yeah.
Which is another issue because I know I'm the reason they're not at the studio.
And Diane makes a great point in the comments. I want to interact, not just listen. That's the fun.
Yeah.
The fun is all these people in the comments, to getting to know each other, talking, having a good time. It's almost like a call-in show, except you don't have to call in because I can just go on. Oh, do we have Leah here?
Yeah.
Is that who LG is? Hello. LG.
Hello,
LG. Is LG there? Is that who LG is? Let me get Eddie on. Eddie.
Hey, Uncle Turtle, what's up, buddy?
What's happening, man? What do you got, Eddie?
The guy Dave that's on there right now.
Yeah.
What's up, Eddie?
The reason why people attacked you so much last time you were on the show is because you came on and kind of attacked Uncle Turtle, saying, what do you ever say on, I think it was Facebook, this and that. You were kind of putting him down at first.
Well, I mean, it was just a little stupid fight because I know I can say that to him. I think people can tell. If I say that to you, doesn't that mean I respect the person?
Well, you see how well that went for you. You see how well that went.
Yeah, well, I don't even remember, so I don't. But I just know the comments that I'm getting the last week. Yes, I know that.
That I think I had a lot to do with that. That's why that happened to you, actually.
Okay. I appreciate
your story tonight has completely changed. You seem like a decent guy.
Thank you.
But
this is true.
The way you acted last time, man, wasn't cool. Some of the things you said.
No,
and I think that's why you got attacked the way you did.
Did I hurt him personally? Did I say something like so demeaning? I don't think I did, right?
I cried myself to sleep.
You're like, what good do you ever have to say? And what good are you? You're on this show. You ain't got nothing interesting.
Oh, that's just that's just shit talk. Come on. His answer was pretty shitty. His answer was pretty shitty. Was I taught Jerry what dick pics were out of the 12 episodes or whatever it is? That's the memorable moment. Is you taught him what dick pics are?
Yeah. I mean, well, they're protective, man, and that's why I love these people. Hey, Eddie, I got to drop you.
Eddie's awesome. Thank you, Eddie.
Man. Go ahead.
I assume LG was Leah. If she wants to come on, I don't know. She's more than welcome to say her piece. But
That's respectful, by the way. Like that's a respectful thing to do. If you call me out for something, we're having a fight like that. The fact that you're willing to go at somebody like that, that's a sign of respect. All right.
Yeah,
So Turtle Riders, that's what I was doing. I was blackout drunk doing it, but that's what I was doing.
Exactly. All right, guys. Anybody else? People say I'm built for speed, not for comfort. Dave Cullen. That is one.
Yep, I said that. I said that sober this week. Yeah.
I said that sober. We gotta get that on a t-shirt. All right, guys. If anybody else wants to come on, I didn't get to talk much about FOLO. I mean, you guys saw it. Fucking First Amendment wins again. I cannot believe the judge wasted 6 pieces of paper and 11 days reaching that fucking decision when all she had to just say was denied. Denied. I mean, if that's how the law works in New Hampshire, good Lord, good fucking Lord. She was like, it was like she was like looking away to rule against me, and she just couldn't do it. She just couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. So. All right, guys. Anybody else have any more calls before we call it a night? Any more comments, whatever to say?
Who's on Thursday night? Who's the co-host?
Thursday night. I got somebody. Who the fuck do I have? I don't know yet. To be determined.
When are you gonna get Jerry Callahan as the co-host?
Does he stay up this late?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's tweeting. He's worse than Trump. He's tweeting till 1 o'clock in the morning. By the way, he is the worst. So I apologize to you. I'm not trying to make this like the Jerry show.
No. People know Jerry by now.
Yeah, I just apologize. But he you can just see him there. Can't you like feel every tweet that he does that he's like thinking out what's a joke I can make? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I type this in a way that's going to make people laugh as they read it, but I also get to get my political beliefs out there at the same time? It's so strange.
For a guy his age, he's pretty Twitter savvy.
Yeah, he's Twitter savvy. You can just tell how thought out it is, which is weird. I just want to tweet. I want to get made fun of. I want, you know what I mean? I don't care. Trump doesn't care. He just fucking tweets.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I also want to thank real quick update. I want to thank Shannon A says, can Dave please show us the dog Long Live the Turtle? You've seen it, so there you go. Anonymous says you should start a law school fund. You'd fucking kill it as a lawyer, and I might fucking do that. I just might do that. And then Brenda says to the Turtellini Fund. So thank you all, people who donated and people who didn't. I love you all the same. You're all my people. And yeah, we're definitely gonna do a mean tweets episode again too. You got to watch that one if you haven't seen it, Dave. When I invited Suzanne and 2 other chicks on, Turtle Riders on, and they just read. I sent them all, like, I went through all my inbox, like on your filtered messages that you haven't read in years, just the most vile shit you can call on. And I sent them screenshots. I'm like, here's 10 each of you. And I'm just going to play Everybody Hurts
in the background.
And then you just fucking read the mean tweets.
So it's not just, you didn't just plagiarize, the concept of mean tweets that who does it? Kimmel? You literally stole the entire idea because he plays Everybody Hurts, doesn't he? Or no?
Does he? I don't know. Does he own the song? I don't know. I stole it too. Okay, yeah, whatever.
Listen, that's the way to do it. Just steal it.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, guys. We will see you guys all very shortly on Thursday for the next episode of Live. Peace, Turtle Riders.